Hi students, in this video we are going to discuss about impulse. What do you mean by impulse? Don't afraid. If a very large force acts on an object for a very short duration, then the force is called as impulsive force or simply impulse. Consider a force acts on an object in a very short interval of time del t. So as per the Newton's second law, force is defined as the rate of change of momentum with respect to time. Here you can rearrange like this. What is the value of dp? dp that is equal to f into dt. Let us take this as a equation 1. Now we can integrate both the sides of the equation 1. Integral of dp, you have to apply the upper limit and the lower limit I f. It is equal to integral of f dt. Here you can take the lower limit as the initial time ti and final time tf. We have learned about the integration. Suppose dp is integrated, means what will be the value? P. The next step, you can apply the upper limit and the lower limit fi. That is equal to, here on the right side as it is we can write integration of f dt ti and the tf. We can apply the upper limit minus lower limit. So it can be written as pf minus pi. It is equal to, as it is we can write f dt ti tf. Here tf is the final momentum of an object at the time tf and pi is the initial momentum of an object at the time ti. The object is moving now. At the time tf, this object is moving. It has a mass. Since it is moving, it has a velocity. So mass into velocity, that is only known as momentum. So at the time ti, it has the momentum pi. An impulsive force is acting on that. The time tf, its velocity is changes. So there is a change in momentum also. So at the time tf, its momentum is pf. So in this expression, pf minus pi, now finding the difference between the two momentum. So how can we represent that? Del p. This del p is known as change in momentum of an object during the time interval. How can we find the time interval? Like this. So tf minus ti. Here also we are going to find the difference in timing. So del t. The same expression, the right side, the integral of f dt can be taken as a impulse. So here this integral f dt is known as impulse, which is given by the letter j. So which is equal to change in momentum of the object. If the force is constant over the time interval, then it can be written as, since constant value cannot be integrated, it can be taken outside. So how can we write? F is taken outside of the integral di tf. We have to write only dt. Here what is the value? F as it is you can write. dt is integrated, means what is the value? T. The next step, you have to apply the upper limit minus lower limit, like here. So here what is the value? F upper limit minus lower limit. Here you have found the time interval, which is equal to del t. So here you can write del t. For our convenience, let us take this equation as equation 2. Here I have found the integral value. So ultimately that is equal to f del t. Let me write here f del t, that is equal to pf minus pi. Pf minus pi is nothing but a change in momentum. So it can be equal to change in momentum. This equation is known as impulse momentum equation. Further, this equation can be written as integral of f dt. I have found that value is F del t, which is equal to J, impulse. It is also another one important relation. For a constant force, the impulse is denoted like this. Impulse is a vector quantity and its unit is Newton second. So what is the expression for impulse? J, that is equal to force into time interval. For force, unit is Newton. For time, unit is second. So Newton second, that is only the unit for impulse. So far we have discussed about the constant force. Here it is expression for the average force. If the force is variable, means we can take the average value. From that equation, the average force that act on the object is greater if the del t is smaller, because they both are inversely proportional to each other. Whenever the momentum of the object changes very quickly, the average force becomes larger. The impulse can also be written in the form of the average force, since del p is the change in momentum of the object and it is equal to impulse, we have written already. So this expression can be written like this: del p, that is equal to average force into del t. Already we have learned change in momentum, that is only known as impulse, which is given by the letter J. So this expression can be written like this also. The graphical representation of constant force impulse and variable force impulse is given in the graphs. Here it is a graph for the constant force. Then how can you find the impulse? What is the formula for impulse? Force into time interval. Here it is a constant force, F value into Tf minus Ti, which is written shortly F into del t. With the help of graph, how can we find? We have to find the area of this rectangular shape, because here it is this length will gives you the value of force. This breadth value Tf minus Ti, that is a breadth, that will gives you the time interval. So length into breadth, using that you can find the impulse, which is given by the constant force in this graph. Here it is not a constant force, it is increasing and decreasing, so it is a variable force. Further you have to find the average value. Here it is a peak value, F peak. Then where will be the average value? Average value will be less than the peak value, so let us take here. That is only the average force. For this variable force, we can find the impulse with the integration only. So J, that is equal to integral of F dt, Ti and the Tf. Let us discuss some illustrations to understand about the impulse. When a cricket player catches a ball, he pulls his hands slowly in the direction of the ball's motion. We can understand the reason for his action using the impulse. If he stops his hands soon after catching the ball comes to rest very quickly. It means that the momentum of the ball is brought to rest very quickly, so the average force acting on the body will be very large. Due to this large average force, the hands will get hurt. To avoid getting hurt, the player brings the balls to rest slowly. Let us watch this model. If he moves his hands forward and catch the ball, means what will happen to the time? Time interval is very less. Then what happened to the force? Force will be maximum. So impact of force will be maximum. So he will feel pain. If he move the hands backwards, means what will happen to the time interval? Time interval is extended by the fielders. So time interval extended, then what happened to the force? Force will be reduces. That's why fielders lowers his hand to catch the ball to increase the time interval. When a car meets with an accident, its momentum reduces in a very short time. This is very dangerous for the passengers inside the car, since they will experience a very large force. To prevent this fatal shock, cars are designed with an airbags to such a way that when car meets with an accident, the momentum of the passengers will reduce slowly so that average force acting on them will be smaller. Imagine it is a passenger. He is going to meet an accident without airbag. He is going to hit on the front seat or steering severely. Imagine it is a airbag. Same passenger or driver is going to meet an accident. If the airbag is there means they are going to hit that airbag. Then what about the time interval? Time interval is extended. So time interval extended means what will happen to the force? The impact of force will be reduces. The last illustration, jumping on a concrete cemented floor is more dangerous than jumping on the sand. Sand brings the body to rest slowly than the concrete floor, so that the average force experienced by the body will be lesser. Likewise, in the circus, performers fall on the net, so that net brings the body to rest slowly. If there is no net, there is a floor only means will lead the performers to severe injury.